Hey everybody, Derek here to bring you another video for The Walking Dead Season 5. And today's video is going to be based on the new cast member that has been added to Walking Dead. We finally have a little bit more of information to work off of. They really haven't been releasing as much, which isn't really much of a surprise. I mean, you don't want to be spoiling everything, but they have introduced a new cast member. And the actor's name is Ross Marquand. And I'm going to be giving a little bit of information about, some predictions on who I think he's going to be playing, some details about that, and we'll go from there. So just in case you are not caught up with Walking Dead or you have not read the comic book series, this video will contain spoilers in relation to those. So if you're not caught up or you don't read the comics and you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch the video or you will be spoiled. Okay. Well, Ross Marquand is someone that I've never heard of. I looked him up, and he's been in a couple of movies that I've never seen before. I can't remember the names. And he did have a guest spot on Mad Men once. But other than that, I haven't really been too familiar with him. But he seems like he would be able to play a very good character. I think he's known for like playing roles that require him to like change his voice or make him look like somebody else. Like I know he played Harrison Ford, like a mock of Harrison Ford on something. I don't remember what it was, but if you look him up, he seems like he's a very interesting and great actor, and I'm very excited to see him on the new show or the new season coming up of Walking Dead. Um, Now, in regards to who he is playing, well, I've come up with a prediction for that as well, and I'm going to be putting a picture up here on my screen, basically going to be detailing who I think it's going to be and why. So if you'll get ready, the picture should be popping up soon. And you'll see here on the picture that I believe that it's going to be a character named Aaron, who is from the comic books. He is a comic book character, and one of the things, although no information has been released about who Ross Marquand is playing, they haven't even given like a fake name like they did with some of the other cast members in the past, like with Abraham, Michael Cudlitz, a couple of other people. They have given nothing. But we do know that Robert Kirkman said on Talking Dead that they were going to be introducing a gay character, somebody who would be in a same-sex relationship at some point during the series of this season 5. And Aaron is a prime candidate for being that character. He is in a same-sex relationship with a man named Eric in the comic books. And Aaron and Eric play very important roles in the comic books. Basically, what they do is they're the recruiters of the Alexandria Safe Zone. They go out there and they basically go out and recruit people. So if you look at the picture, you'll see that, Aaron and Ross Marquand do look pretty similar. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have a spot-on look. I mean, you're not really going to find that, but I think that there's a very good chance that he is a pretty good match if you're going for likeness. And I definitely think that it would be a very good opportunity to cast that character, as Aaron is a very important character. And, I think they said that it's looking to be like he'll be a main cast member, and then season 6 he can come back and be a main character as well. I've heard that from the reports that I've read, but no information about who it's going to be. So I think it is going to be Aaron, and I'll take the picture down, and you can see me on the image very soon. Okay, so like I said, I think it is going to be Aaron, the character that he is playing. The reason why I give it to Aaron over Eric is, again, this is a spoiler, but Eric is dead in the comics. Eric dies in, I believe it's volume 20 or 21, one or the other, of the comic books during the war between the Saviors and the Alexandria Safe Zone. And I just think that, yeah, you could still cast Eric if you want, but I think that they would do it more on like a recurring role type basis, not so much as a main cast member, because Aaron's a lot more of the central person versus Eric in regards to how much time he was given in the comics. Aaron is still around, and you do see Aaron every now and then. They kind of do focus a little bit more on Rick's group in the Alexandria safe zone and not so much Aaron. But nonetheless, Aaron still has a pretty important role. And I think that when it comes to the TV show, you can expand on that quite a bit. And I just think that another thing is I don't know if I would really feel comfortable signing up for a role if I had a feeling my character was going to die, especially if it's a main cast member role. But I mean, everybody thinks differently about that. I'm pretty sure that when David Morrissey signed up, he pretty much knew that his time on the show was pretty limited. But you never know. Every actor, every actress definitely has their own expectations and hopes whenever they go into a show. So, but I think that it's going to be Aaron over Eric that they would cast, and I think that it would be Aaron that Ross Marquand would be playing. And of course, Aaron is the one that takes Rick and the group back to the Alexandria safe zone, and it makes a lot of sense, where I think the storyline is going to go this upcoming season. Um, you've heard my predictions. I think that what's going to end up happening is, they're going to bury Beth. I think that Noah is basically going to, lead them to Richmond, Virginia, in order to take a look at the community that his uncle's from. I think that that's something that is going to happen. It would make a little bit more sense because it would get them closer to Washington, D.C. Because I think Richmond, Virginia, and D.C. I think are about 100 miles, 200 miles. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but they're not that far apart. I kind of remember something in the Civil War like history where they were talking about like the distance between the two, and I don't think it's as far as you think. So it would make sense that Aaron and them would be scouting around, the nearby states. I mean, because he's gone for good periods of time. It seems, that him and Eric basically their roles in the community were to go out and find people and basically, spy on them. They would basically sit and take a look at them and see if they were, good people, people that would be compatible with their community. I mean, they're not going to let in, people that are killing people, people that are raping people, people that are doing things like that. They don't want that in the community. And I think that's part of the reason why, they explore people is because they don't want to let in the wrong kinds of people. And in the comics, Aaron does look in on them and see, are they compatible? And one of the things that leads him to that conclusion is actually Carl. I think that he makes a statement in the comics basically saying that part of the reason why he felt they could be trusted was because they had a kid, which shows, that they're willing to look after people in the Walking Dead world. And I think that having Judith is also going to be something that's going to weigh in their favor because, when they're looking in on them, if they notice that they're doing things like that, then they must not be terrible people because if they were terrible people, they wouldn't want some kid running around, they would always have to watch or a baby even. So it does weigh in their favor that, that Rick's group has Carl and Judith. But even if they didn't, again, it's based off of, their observations. How does this group look? Do they look like they're working well together? Do they seem like they still have some humanity left in them? Are they doing bad things or are they just, surviving? And Aaron and Eric do end up recruiting them. Eric is more of the guy who hides. I mean, I don't know, maybe they rotated, but what ends up happening is when Aaron goes into the camp to introduce himself, of course, they're still on edge about, what's happened with the hunters and with the governor's people and things like that, that they actually taken captive, which Aaron accepts. And I think that that's something that they're probably going to do in the comic books is that, in the TV show, that when Aaron does meet up with the group, I don't think that they're going to be, hey, welcome, how you doing? No, I think it's going to be very, hostile in many ways, and especially because he is offering, hey, we got this great home, and it's, nice, it's in D.C., and, if you guys come along with us, we can give you somewhere safe to stay. Well, what did Terminus promise? Yes, sanctuary for all, and no, you're actually getting cannibalized. Yeah, that didn't turn out too well, so I can understand why, Rick's group might be a little more hesitant about wanting to go with Aaron and trusting them, and I think that that's going to be a very important story. They haven't said when he's going to be introduced. It could be in episode 9. It could be episode 10. May not even be till episode 11 or 12. I don't know. Personally, I don't think it's going to be for at least 3 or 4 episodes in, because again, I kind of want to see the group suffer a little bit. I kind of want to see them, really having to find hope, find reasons to live. And, I think that if Aaron all of a sudden just shows up and here's new hope, I think that it wouldn't, give us enough time to really explore the characters in a state of having no hope. And I think it's important to analyze that, once you lose Beth, once you lose, your home, you run into people like the hunters. I mean, pretty much, and you lose the cure too. I mean, they've lost all hope in, their home being safe, being able to trust people, having a reason to, want to continue on and, stop this virus. And my hope is that, when they do, if that's what they're doing and they are going to Richmond, that they show up there and, the community's just gone. And it's like another thing where they're just like, oh my God, what the heck did we do? Now everybody's dead. What's the reason? And I want them to explore that for several episodes. 2, 3, I think would take care of it. Plus, how long is it going to take for them to get to the safe zone is another thing, because I'm assuming that what will happen is, they're in Richmond, and then maybe Aaron meets up with them, and they take him hostage, and that might be an episode, may take 2 episodes, I don't know. And we may need 1 episode totally, or 2 if they're really stretching it, to get people, to get there. They might have something happen along the way. It might result in something like that. So I think that we definitely have some interesting story to work off of here. And I'm looking forward to seeing if there will be new cast members revealed before the show comes back. I mean, there is a good chance of that. I don't think that Aaron is going to be the only one there. So it leads us to question, are we going to have Douglas Monroe cast, his son Spencer, maybe even Regina, the wife? We might see cast members for that. Heath is definitely a big character. There might be introductions for that. We may see Holly. We may see Heath. There's a couple others I can't think of right now at the moment. But we may see several different castings before the show's over. And even if they don't get introduced necessarily in this season, very good chance that we're going to see a lot more of those cast members get cast in the 6th season, because we don't really know how long it's going to take for them to get there. So, it's really going to be a very interesting experience watching to see how long it takes for them to get there, what all is going to happen in between. I think these 8 episodes are going to be absolutely incredible, and I can't wait for the show to come back. So at least we have a little bit to go on here. I think Ross Marquand is playing Aaron, and I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. So that's all I have, guys. If you guys have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to leave them. Feel free to subscribe. I have more videos coming. And if you guys have any video topics that you would like to suggest, don't be afraid to do so. We still have quite a little bit of ways to go. I think about 3 weeks or so, give or take. And I would always appreciate ideas. What do you guys want to hear? Is there something I'm missing out on here? Don't be afraid to let me know. I definitely appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thank you again.